The man was so poor that he could only afford to drink a 5-cent beer. Yet, he used all his savings to buy a junk stock. Unexpectedly, in just 6 months, the man's assets skyrocketed to $47 million. The man's name was Gil. He went to a bar and ordered a 50-cent beer, but was mercilessly mocked by his friends. The young man straightforwardly said that he had bought $50,000 worth of stocks, which left his friends completely stunned. What's even more unbelievable was that the stock Gil bought was from a company that Wall Street elites looked down upon and was on the verge of bankruptcy. His friend, who was an investor, thought Gil had gone crazy and urged him to sell the stocks immediately. However, his friend had no idea that the person in front of him was about to set off a storm. That night, Gil started a live stream and shared with his fans the stocks of GameStop that he had bought. But at that moment, with only 412 fans, no one believed Gil. People kept mocking him, accusing him of fraud. But Gil didn't choose to avoid the situation. Instead, he responded to the audience wittily. Then, Gil began to seriously share his views and opinions on investing in GameStop. Because the big Wall Street players had shorted GameStop, the stock price of GameStop hit rock bottom. At that time, each share was only worth $3.85. Gil believed that the big Wall Street players had made a wrong judgment about GameStop this time. Their act of shorting GameStop had seriously underestimated the value of the company. Moreover, GameStop had already been shorted by 140%. This meant that the more shares retail investors bought, the more money the big Wall Street players would lose. Even though most people bought digital games online, there were still a quarter of loyal customers who would buy physical discs at GameStop. So, Gil thought this was Wall Street deliberately playing tricks. As long as retail investors worked together to drive up the stock price and firmly refused to sell, they could defeat the big short sellers among the capitalists and make a fortune. However, Wall Street had always regarded retail investors as a disorganized mob, a group of fools who only cared about immediate benefits and would definitely not be able to work together. The money of these ordinary people was called the easiest dumb money to make by Wall Street. They even gave retail investors a name, Dumb Money. This offensive name ignited the anger of the retail investors. So, when the big financial players appeared on TV one after another, speaking negatively about GameStop and warning retail investors not to buy the stock, the retail investors rebelled and instead rushed to buy GameStop stocks. As a result, the stock price of GameStop soared straight up. The higher the price went, the more the retail investors bought. And the more the retail investors bought, the higher the price climbed. In this infinite cycle, the GameStop stock that was originally $10 per share had now exceeded $100 per share. And Gil, who used to be so poor that he couldn't even afford a 5-cent beer, had directly become a multimillionaire. In just one day, Gil made more than $10 million.